please welcome Brendan Fraser. This was the longest standing ovation anyone's ever gotten. As deservedly so, Mr. Brendan Fraser. I love you. You're the best, man. I love you so much. I've been loving you since I was a kid.
Ronnie, I'm old.
Let's talk about this project. So I love this fantasy World War II movie where white people join forces to fight Nazis. I wish we actually still did that. But,
what leadership once looked like, right? And so why we did that in the first place.
It movie's Pressure, so period piece in World War II. You play General Eisenhower.
I am Ike.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot about him as a historical figure, apart from the lapel pin. I like Ike.
Yeah.
In his war years, I learned that he never fired a shot in anger. I was never fired at. His entire career, he intended to fight in the First World War, but he concluded, inconveniently for him, but over the next successive 40 or so years, he kept getting promoted as an excellent strategist and diplomat. And so when we meet Ike in the world of this film, it's on the eve of D-Day. And that was originally set for Monday, June 5th, 1944. And I did not know when the project came my way that it was postponed from inclement weather that was inbound, that they really only learned about that weekend before at the initiative and insistence of James Crick, Skag, I should know this, played by Andrew Scott. And he was the meteorologist. He worked with the Home Office for a number of weeks before then, and he was, I guess, the one who had the temerity to rely on science and facts for how to determine the weather when it was an age when looking out the window was kind of the way it was done.
Yeah. And I've never seen a more tension-filled weather report than this movie. I watched the whole thing, and the whole time I was like engaged. It was like, is this gonna rain or not? Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I followed this movie more than I was following the weather for my outdoor wedding. You know what I mean? Like, the stakes were extremely high in this, and you see literally the pressure building of the, that's the name of the
It's not just barometric pressure that we're concerned about in this world.
Yeah, and you're right. So, the story of this brave weatherman who basically delayed Allied invasion of Normandy to defeat the Nazis, and he made the call. And as you said, it was back in the day when, now we get weather sent to our phones while we're taking a shit on the toilet. But these guys had to deal with like paper charts and some guy letting off a balloon, and then someone had to call from Ireland.
That was science, but prior to that, it was relying on analogs like the Farmer's Almanac, to say, well, it didn't snow in 1888, it won't today.
Right.
And
analogs being kind of historical charts as we're just going off history.
Records and records of records. And that's not good enough when you've got 300,000 troops standing by in relative secrecy to...
And the fate of the free world.
In the balance. And to delay that or even, turn it around is really quite near impossible. And when the Joint Chiefs of Staff received the report, it was conflicting because they couldn't just say, oh, we'll do it next week very easily, although they would have had to wait a considerable amount of time because the phases of the moon would go through, the tides.
In the movie, General Montgomery says that the paratroopers can only land when it's a full moon, and the next full moon would be the next week, and then...
The 18th.
And then everyone's like, well, now the Nazis are gonna find out we're invading because no one can shut the up for 2 weeks.
There's that.
Yeah.
But for the courage of the weatherman who came forward and said, if you're going to go, there is going to be a break in the storm following day, which is Tuesday, June 6th, which we all know as D-Day. And if they were to attack, there was a window of opportunity. It would have been that morning. It wasn't ideal, but the chalk was less on the ocean. Air Force could hit targets through the cloud cover. And
did it work?
Well, you'll have to come see the film. The fate of humanity.
I hope it works. Yeah. And the other theme of the movie is this idea, as you were kind of alluding to it, was this idea of back in the good old days when leaders met with scientists to make informed decisions that benefited most of.
Gave them that forum, had the courage to believe in them.
Listen to them.
Didn't just hear them. And that's the kind of leader that my big takeaway in my research was who Ike was. He was a diplomat. And apparently, at all accounts, he was a lot of fun at dinner parties, where he probably did some of his best diplomatic work. And I don't know, like magic tricks with napkins or something? I don't know. But he was a personable guy, and he cared intensely for the troops. And that kind of respect is it's earned. It's not commanded. And in my view, I think that in itself becomes almost like a secret asset weapon of sorts. That we show respect for one another, and it goes a long way to understanding why they're even doing that in the first place.
No, it's a great. Yeah. Again, it's a great takeaway from this movie. You know, the lessons we can learn, weirdly enough, from history, of how to defeat Nazis.
The scourge of tyranny and fascism. Yeah.
Right.
Read a book.
And you're playing Eisenhower in this. Like, how much of this, just if I could talk technique a little bit, acting technique, like how much of this were you trying to, like, when you're playing a historical figure, obviously there's so much footage and materials available, and were you trying to, how much of that were you trying to?
It was a first for me. I know I'm not a carbon copy to look like Ike Eisenhower. I got about.
You guys are both white guys. Yeah,
we're
it's in the ballpark.
But I know that with an audience's generational perspective, I think we can go back and look at who the essence of it is. And remember, this is a film. We all kind of know the conclusion, but the compelling part is how we are on the edge of our seat watching this film, and we still wonder if we humans are arrogant enough to shake our fist at the sky and expect a different result. And you're gonna get it wrong if you do that. So it's a film that I know will mean a great deal to our veterans, and it will certainly mean a great deal towards understanding what went into the operation in the first place. It was news to me that only 6 weeks earlier, Ike Eisenhower had given the order to use live fire on a training exercise called Operation Tiger, and that was in late April, the 28th and 29th, wherein American troops were rehearsing, charging a beach in this southern beach in England. And there was confusion at sea with frequencies. German E-boats were harassing landing craft, and in the exercise, an hour was lost, and the first wave in the exercise attacked the beach. Unbeknownst to them, they walked right into Eisenhower's live fire, and sadly 749 Army and Navy lost their lives that day. And it wasn't until the late 70s, a man called Burns, who lived on that beach, was wondering, why did the fishing nets keep getting stuck at the same part in the surf? So somebody went down with a mask and came up and said, tank. And what, oil, water? No, Sherman, tank. They had forgotten that was the beach that was used for the exercise. So sad as that is, to answer your question, I took that as a springboard to understanding who Eisenhower was, and that he could not have had seen his own son's eyes when he wished them well and greeted them. You'd only look at the file photos of the 101st, and you can tell that there's such concern there. And it wasn't just because he was talking about fly fishing and your mom and how bad the food is. And it was that he was even told by them that, sir, don't worry, we'll take care of this. And I think it gave him some sort of sense of consolation knowing that he was sending these guys into a bare knuckle fight with a chainsaw to begin with, but he's going to do it now in the eye of a storm. And this is all news to me. I gotta ask, did anybody know any of this historical perspective? No, nor I. So I read a book. Come see the film, and you'll see yourself.
These guys are. You're asking the wrong crowd. These are TikTokers over here. They don't. Yeah. So I mean, again, great movie. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. You know, great portrayal.
I appreciate it.
And again, I didn't know about this, and I
it gives you a perspective,
it totally does,
doesn't it? I felt the same way, and hey, I'm glad to have worked with Andrew Scott. He's like a boulder in the stream. He plays the weatherman who brings this.
Well, the cast is all-star cast, I would say. You know, you got who's who. You got Damian Lewis, Montgomery. You got Kay, I think.
Kerry Condon,
Kerry Condon playing Kay. And Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott, and you'll likely recognize a lot of faces from really great British television who populated the rest of the cast. And the keen observers will see that the location we used was actually also used in the second Mummy movie.
Oh.
And I learned that because walking on, I think I jumped out of that window.
It's weird. The universe is so weird.
Weird. Well, it was a body double of me, but you know, it looked
right. It looked like it. Yeah. And this brings me back to you, I guess. I mean, you are one of the few beloved people in Hollywood. Seriously, everybody hates everybody. There's only there's only like 4 people. It's like you, Keanu Reeves, Randall Park, and me. You know, everyone else just hates everyone else. So I mean, maybe it's too general a question, but how did you manage that?
Bribery.
Well, how much? Let us know so we can, you know.
For me?
Yeah, you're genuinely one of the most beloved people, and you know, you've had this really wide-ranging career, man. You've done it all. You did Encino Man comedies. You did School Ties. You did Crash. You did Oscar. You got Whale. You did the Whale. You won Oscar for the Whale. You did the Rental Family. Like it's been everything.
I've been really lucky.
Is there a method to this?
I just want a job, man. You know, keep working, repeat if I can. You know, and it's not always like that. There are ups and downs, and it is a corkscrew. You know.
Well, I guess more specifically, it's that your career, you've done a lot of different genres and tones. Is what I'm asking. You know, is that? I mean, is that?
I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of trends in the way films are made in my time, and you know, last century in the early in the 1990s.
You mean the last millennium? Yeah, when you were.
When I was a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
The films that were made were, you know, for one thing, they were shot on film. And
what's that?
It's this stuff that you got to get it wet.
The long shit that you
and
have
then
to cut.
If you turn the light on.
Right. Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Right.
Good times.
Yeah, no, but how did you pick these projects? I mean, you know, sorry, you're actually explaining your perspective on the industry.
Say,
yeah, please.
That I think early on I had a sort of personal creed, kind of like, you know, 1 for them, 2 for them, 1 for me, you know. And, sequel culture was, I think, really sort of coming into its own in maybe around the 1980s. I don't remember really getting excited as a film goer for a sequel since the Empire Strikes Back, you know, and
this is an easy crowd. You just say,
totally. But then films, you know, if it worked once, why not make it again? And then when I first came to town, I can remember there was a 3 Musketeers movie getting made, but there were 9 Musketeers running around Hollywood trying to get a Musketeer movie made. It's sort of like monkey see, monkey do. You know, if it worked once, then keep doing it. Now I don't know if there's so much mimicry in you know, how we approach which is going to be done. There's more of a penchant to look for the next event film to get people to come to the theaters again. COVID changed everything for us, and you sink or swim if you decide, oh, I'm just going to wait and hope that your audience doesn't stay at home and look at their phone and
on the toilet taking a shit.
That too. Yeah. So, looking out the window, see if it's going to rain. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, to ask you specifically, I guess there's this kind of vibe right now. Everyone likes to kind of shit on movies these days, and you're one of the few guys who has a perspective on this. So how much truth is there to this idea that, we used to make things better back then, or was it always a problem?
Oh, we can make crappy movies back then too, don't worry. You're guilty.
Well, what do you mean? No, that's not true at all. Everything you made was great. But your perspective, so is this kind of, rose-tinted glasses, we kind of look back and...
50-50. I think that there's a whole generation now who really feel not empowered, but TikTok generation, but everyone has a image rendering device in their pocket, and what it can do is pretty remarkable. And you can shake your fist at it, like you can try to shake your fist at the sky, but
that's what I do.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not always going to get your way. So I think that it's just a matter of accepting, what the technology is, where it is now, and hey, if it worked once or twice, try it again. Like maybe I'll make another mummy movie.
Oh yeah, that's funny. My last question is, you've been making some really cool indie movies lately. You did The Whale, you did Rental Family. I just wanted to ask, it's great. You work with Fukaru. We had her on the show. She spoke very highly of you. I watched the movie. Your Japanese is, I don't know, can you speak Japanese? You look like you can speak Japanese in that movie. So.
お疲れ様でした。
はい。Suge desu. Yeah, so I guess my question
I just told them you owe me $50.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I just want to know, how did you go about picking these indie movies? Because it's not you're talking about the struggles the industries are having right now, and you managed to pick these really cool kind of, I would say, diamonds in the rough.
I look for what the content is in the story. Has it really been done before as some kind of sequel or not? Is it an idea that scares me a little bit? I think it's good to take creative, calculated risks. That's where the most growth can come from, creatively speaking. And I also honestly look to see what do people really want to see. We want to be taken somewhere. We want to be shown something new. We want to feel like we've learned something. So I mean, like a film like Pressure, I did not know that there was an operation that went horribly wrong that influenced the mind of one of our great leaders, and certainly I had no idea that the weather almost caused this catastrophic delay that would have put us in, I don't know what kind of science fiction world we would be living now if they had attacked on that day.
We'd be in a fascist dictator state. Thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But great job.
Yeah, thanks.
But anyway, Brendan Fraser, hey, you're the best, man. I love everything you do. Everybody loves you. You're the best, and you're amazing. Thanks for coming on the show. Pressure. It's in theaters on May 29th with special sneak previews nationwide over Memorial Day weekend. Brendan Fraser.